It's early May and we've been enjoying a beautiful second spring at Bramble Cottage. In this video I'm going to be preparing a number of foods from our food forest, including experiments in hostas and oxeye daisy capers. Check out the last video to see what I collected from the garden towards these recipes. Obviously the usual disclaimers apply. I'm confident about my plant knowledge, but if you're new to foraging then follow these simple rules. Know your plants and be aware of any potentially toxic lookalikes. Know the parts and preparation. What do you need to do to make the plant safe? And know yourself. Try anything new in small quantities first, because we can all turn out to be sensitive to anything. So, on to food prep, and the very first thing I did was put all my hosta leaves into this glass coffee jar and then put that into the fridge, and I'll be seeing how long they survive there. If they last the whole week, then that's my workday lunchtime salad sorted. The next thing I did was bake this cuckoo using mostly the ground elder and then a bunch of other herbs, both from the garden and then a few things from the shops that we don't have to hand, like dill. This is a really simple Middle Eastern recipe that you can use with any green leaf, so I find it really handy for that. We also do a frittata version and a frying pan on top of the stove occasionally. I've cut them up into bite-sized pieces so that I can experiment with these hosta leaves and see if they work as a nice food wrap, because then it adds a bit of crunch, a bit of fresh salad to it, but you can also put spreads inside. In my first experiment I just wrapped in a plain hosta leaf and then tied with some of those chive stems I picked earlier. I then decided to try again with a strong blue cheese spread. This is that Saint Agur stuff, I think it's called. And then folded in the edges because they stick out and don't look so nice. And then wrapped the cuckoo in that and made a sturdier little thing. I think the cuckoo is a really nice way to eat mixed herb leaves, but sometimes it can taste a bit bland and you don't sort of get all the different herb flavours, so having a strong cheese or something like that to offset it is really helpful. When we go to events where we need to bring sort of shareable foods, we often make this cuckoo for that, and then the addition of wrapping them in hosta leaves like this I think could turn them into a really nice buffet food. I only did a few to begin with so that we can try them out and see what they're like, and then I might do some more. I picked these leucanthemum flower buds earlier and I'm going to make a really super simple caper pickle from these. So to do this I picked a basic recipe, and for the quantity of buds that I have it ended up being 2 tablespoons of white wine vinegar, 2 tablespoons of water and then about a teaspoon of salt. Once this is cooled I'm going to put it in the fridge, leave it for a few days, but I think you can start eating them almost immediately. I tried one of these about 3 days later since filming this video and it was really tasty, actually much nicer than real capers in my mind. It didn't have that slightly slimy texture that capers usually have. It was almost crunchy. Next up I needed to prepare my nettles that are going to go into the freezer. So first of all I did a quick bit of sorting in the garden just to remove older leaves, any blemished leaves, and let the insects escape. Make sure I just had the best of them. And then, as I said earlier, I'm following a new method from the Forager chef, who I'll link in the description, to steam these leaves first, partly so that they can be stored for later use, but partly because that will help retain the flavour and colour for future use. So he recommended a hot, quick steam, and I happen to have these Chinese baskets to do that with, so I'm going to give that a try and then put these in the freezer. To be honest, this was a really simple process once I had it set up. I don't use these baskets very often, but I think I might use them more to blanch herbs that I pick from now on. In order to blanch most effectively and avoid losing too much flavour, these should be put into ice cold water once they come out of the steam. So I needed to add more ice cubes a couple of times during the process because the water was warming up. But overall it worked really well, really quickly and easily. The quantity of nettles I've picked here is approximately 8 ounces or 200 grams, and that's what the Forager chef recommended for 6 servings of the soup, I think it was. Although that, I believe, is as a side soup, where we'll be probably using this for main meals. And here we are, some beautifully green, beautifully steamed nettles, and the ice water which has taken on some of the solutes from the nettles, so I don't know why we wouldn't keep that towards the stock that will also go into the nettle soup. So here I'm simply filling a Tupperware type dish with the steamed nettles, and they'll go into the freezer for when we want to use them. And then I poured the stock off into a takeaway tub. That will also go into the freezer, and then we can look at using that too. Finally, I'm pulling together my gallium for making my wine or my bowl. So I picked gallium from 2 parts of the garden, one with more sun, one with less, and I'm just going to mix up the bundles a bit to get a few in each, just in case they have slightly different flavours. I have been making this for many years, possibly since before the internet started, and it turns out I've been doing it wrong all this time. So that's why I'm making 2 bundles this year, one to do in my usual way and then the other to do in the proper way, which will involve a few more steps. But I'm just going to do my way for today because the other bundle will need a few days to dry. So my traditional method has always been to use this wide neck carafe because I find it really useful for this particular drink. I use a cheap dry white German wine like a Riesling, and then I simply put the sprig of fresh gallium into that and let it hang over the top, and then I balance the lid on top to stop flies from getting in, and then leave that for a few days to 2 weeks, and eventually just drink it like white wine and you get an amazing flavour. What I gather I should have been doing is drying the gallium first, so you can dry that naturally like I'm going to do with this bundle, just hanging it up for a bit, or you can dry it in a dehydrator or even in a microwave or oven, and then put that into the same kind of wine and then leave it for less time, and when you serve it you're supposed to mix the wine with another sparkling wine like Prosecco and fruit to make a punch, which also sounds amazing to me, so I'm going to try both this year for the first time. A quick final word on the hostas. It's now shockingly nearly 3 weeks since I first recorded most of these last 2 videos, and the hostas have been sat in their jar in the fridge all that time, and look how fresh they still are. I left these in as an experiment just to see, and I'd almost dread to eat them at this point, but they just look so good still, so we agreed to cook them into another cuckoo, and we're still here to tell the tale. I don't know if all hostas are as good as this, but this is an amazing new vegetable, honestly. And so this is the meal we ended up with: a coriander and lemon rice, a small Greek salad which was mostly from the supermarket, I'll confess, a tzatziki that uses mostly clipped herbs from the garden, the homemade cuckoo, some of which is wrapped in the hosta wraps, and some of those with the strong blue cheese spread. We've now tried these and honestly it was amazing. The hosta leaf added a really nice fresh crunch to the cuckoo, and the cuckoo is delicious in its own right, but it is kind of mild flavours that work well with something to offset them a bit. And then the strong blue cheese actually was really good with that. Other things I thought would be nice would be some sort of tomato spread inside one of those Hosta wraps, so we're definitely going to be trying this again in future. And then we also tried a tiny bit of our My wine. Even though it hadn't had long enough, it was already starting to smell amazing, so we had a little taste, but we're going to try a bit more later once it's had longer to infuse. It's a lovely time of year to be eating from the garden.